Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Nice to be with you. We are in ISKCON Houston, and it is only 9:25 in the a.m., but I reckon it must be pushing already the 85 degrees Fahrenheit temperature. Let me just quickly look and see what pops up. 83 degrees. So, yes, but it's so beautiful here, and the temple is so beautiful, and yeah, we just wanted to do a reading. And where are we reading from?
Canto 4, Chapter 26, Text 8.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Text 8. Otherwise, the person who acts whimsically falls down due to false prestige. Thus, he becomes involved in the laws of nature, which are composed of the three qualities: goodness, passion, and ignorance. In this way, a living entity becomes devoid of his real intelligence and becomes perpetually lost in the cycle of birth and death. Thus, he goes up and down from a microbe in stool to a high position in the Brahmaloka planet. Purport. There are many important words in this verse. The first is anyata, otherwise, which indicates one who does not care for the Vedic rules and regulations. The rules and regulations laid down in the Vedas are called Sastra Vidhi. Bhagavad Gita clearly states that one who does not accept the Sastra Vidhi or rules and regulations mentioned in the Vedic scriptures and acts whimsically or puffed up with false pride never attains perfection in this life, nor does he attain happiness or liberation from the material condition. Ya Sastra Vidim Utsridya Vatate Kamakarata Na Sa Siddhim Avapnopti Na Sukham Na Param Gatim. That's Bhagavad Gita 16:23. He who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. Thus, one who is deliberately transgressing the rules and regulations of the Sastras is simply involving himself more and more in material existence in the three modes of material nature. Human society should therefore follow the Vedic principles of life, which are summarized in Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, life in material existence will continue. Foolish persons do not know that the soul is passing through 8,400,000 species of life. By the gradual process of evolution, when one comes to the human form of life, he is supposed to follow the rules and regulations laid down in the Vedas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that the living entity, since time immemorial, is suffering the threefold miseries of material nature due to his demoniac attitude, which is his spirit of revolt against the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna also confirms this in Bhagavad Gita 15.7. Mamaivam so jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana mana sasta nindriyani prakriti stani garsati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. Every living entity is part and parcel of God. There is no reason for the living entities being put into the miserable threefold condition of material existence, but that he voluntarily accepts material existence on the false pretext of becoming an enjoyer. To save him from this horrible condition, the Lord has given all the Vedic literatures in his incarnation of Vyasadeva. It is therefore said, Krishna bole se jiva anadi bahe mukha adaiva maya tare de ya samsara dukkha. CC Madhya Leela 20.117. By forgetting Krishna, the living entity has become materialistic since time immemorial. Therefore, the illusory energy of Krishna is giving him different types of miseries in material existence, just like the misery I'm feeling with the sun coming closer and closer on my forehead. It's horrible. Maya dukta jivera nahi swata Krishna gyan. Jivere kripaya kaila Krishna Veda Purana. When a living entity is enchanted by the external energy, he cannot revive his original Krishna consciousness independently. Due to such circumstances, Krishna has kindly given him the Vedic literatures, such as the 4 Vedas and 18 Puranas. CC Madhya 20.122. Every human being should therefore take advantage of the Vedic instructions, otherwise one will be bound by his whimsical activities and will be without any guide. Oh God.
Well, you made it through, darling. Well done.
I made it through barely. It's horrible. Anyway. Yeah, so you're supposed to follow. Basically, the point is, don't be whimsical and follow some guide, as Prabhupada says, follow some instruction on being pious and worshipping the Lord. And it's interesting because if you grow up in a Hindu family, everyone's got some sort of rule and regulation, our opinion on the rules and regulations, and some structure and this. It's interesting. It's so like, it's like a big bowl of Vedic kitchery and everyone puts in their ingredients. But Prabhupada saying this is all whimsical and actually you're going to be miserable, which is true because everyone's so confused and half the people don't know why they do things. And it's also sad because it minimizes the actual spiritual aspect of a ritual. Like I know growing up, a lot of the times the Brahmin would be like, okay, we will need to get a Brahmin. Like this is growing up in London. Oh, we need to get a Brahmin because he's got to do whatever. But it wasn't taken seriously. And yeah, and do this, do that, and then it's almost like a move him out the way, so then we can get on with.
You see? Dragonfly on top.
Oh
of
my
it.
God! There's a dragonfly on my phone. I'm gonna die. Oh my God.
Anyway, carry on.
Anyway.
Get the Brahmin. No one pays attention to him anyway.
Well, that's like so. But it's sad because then it gets so the spiritual side is minimized. So if it wasn't for Prabhupada's books, if it wasn't for Prabhupada going through what he did, coming to the West and the struggles and everything he went through, it would always remain like that for me, actually, just using myself as an example. And I think that's sad, But when you're reading because of Prabhupada's books, I understand the fear, the knowledge behind the rituals. And otherwise it would have been like, so we got to fast on this day. Oh yeah, we need Brahmin because you have to do this yoga, oh this, that. It just would have been so dry, So, all glories to Prabhupada that he came and, like you could say, detangled the Vedas for us and detangled this path so that we want to do it. And look at this glorious place in Houston, of all places, and this big temple that they have and the beautiful deities and that. Because Prabhupada came and detangled the Vedas, and someone's like, okay, cool, this makes sense, and I want to follow it.
Makes it accessible for everyone also.
Yeah, attractive.
Okay, so we'll continue. It's quite a long purport and we don't want to sit in the sun too long.
Oh, because my head's on fire.
The word manarudaha is also very significant in this verse. Under the pretext of becoming great philosophers and scientists, men throughout the whole world are working on the mental platform. Such men are generally non-devotees due to not caring for the instructions given by the Lord to the first living creature, Lord Brahma. The Bhagavatam 5:18-12 therefore states, Harav abhaktasya kuto mahadguna mano ratena sati davato bahi. A person who is a non-devotee has no good qualities, or no good qualification, because he acts on the mental platform. He acts on the mental platform. One who acts on the mental platform has to change his standard of knowledge periodically. We consequently see that one philosopher may disagree with another philosopher, and one scientist may put forward a theory contradicting the theory of another scientist. All of this is due to their working on the mental platform without a standard of knowledge. In the Vedic instructions, however, the standard of knowledge is accepted, even though it may sometimes appear that the statements are contradictory. Because the Vedas are the standard of knowledge, even though they may appear contradictory, they should be accepted. If one does not accept them, he will be bound by material conditions. So, interesting point considering what was just said, that one person has this rule, another person has that rule, everyone's got a different rule, and it's like a Vedic kitchery. So it shouldn't be like that, and I don't think that Prabhupada is referring to that in general, but and he may go into it, but if not, then, one thing that I'm reminded of is the principle that the stool of an animal, or any stool in general, is considered muchi or dirty or contaminating, and if you touch it, then you have to take bath, take shower. But the stool of the Vedas also say that the stool of the cow is 100% pure. So, you can say, oh, there's contradiction. Well, no, it's not contradiction, it's correct. So there's an exception. The exception is the stool of the cow. Or bones are considered dirty, but the conch is also a bone. And so when you use that in the service of the Lord, or the whisk of the yak, the tail of the yak is used as a whisk to wave. So all of these things may seem contradictory, but they're not.
Good Lord. The material conditions are described in this verse as guna pravaha, the flowing of the three modes of material nature. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur therefore says in a song, Niche Mayada Vache Yacha Beche Kacha Habu Dubal Bai.
Sounded like you just said ache gache gache.
No, I read.
Okay.
Why are you suffering? By the way, today is Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur's day.
You lean forward because you just...
No, I know, because...
There's no getting out of the sun, so you may as well just lean back and be comfortable and be
okay, I'll have heat stroke for the rest of the day.
Thakur's.
I'll have heat stroke.
Today is Bhaktivedanta Thakur's
Day.
Day?
Yeah.
Appearance day.
Appearance day. Yeah, it's like, not when you're watching it, but when we're filming it. So that's nice that Bhaktivedanta Thakur's been quoted here. And he's saying, why are you suffering? Why are you sometimes being drowned in the waves of material nature and sometimes coming to the surface? Jiva Krishna Das, E Vishvasha Kaleta Araduka Na. That's the secret to speaking Bengali, when you have to just say it very fast.
Oh, okay.
Please therefore accept yourself as the servant of Krishna, then you will be freed from all miseries. As soon as one surrenders to Krishna and accepts a perfect standard of knowledge, which is Bhagavad Gita as it is, he then comes out of the material modes of nature and does not fall down and lose his knowledge. So there you go. But to Thakur, on his appearance day, which is today, that's why we're fasting half a day, he's telling us straightforward, really, why are you suffering, or why are you accepting these miseries? Just surrender to Krishna.
Okay, so I'm reading the last paragraph, which itself is 2 pages long.
Shoot.
Nasta pragya, the word pragya means perfect knowledge, and nasta pragya means one who has no perfect knowledge. One who does not have perfect knowledge has only mental speculation. By such mental speculation, one falls down and down into a hellish condition of life. By transgressing the laws laid down in the Shastras, one cannot become pure in heart. When one's heart is not purified, one acts according to 3 material modes of nature. These activities are very nicely explained in verse 1 through 6 of the 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita 2.4.5 further explains Trigunya Vishya Veda Nistrigunya Bhavarjuna Nirdwandwo Nityasattvasto Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. The Vedas mainly deal with the subject of the three modes of material nature. Rise above these modes, O Arjuna, be transcendental to all of them. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. The entire world and all material knowledge is within the three modes of material nature. One has to transcend these modes, and to attain that platform of transcendence, one must follow the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus become perfect in life. Otherwise, one will be knocked down by the waves of the material nature's three modes. This is further explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.30. In the words of Prahlad Maharaj, Matirna Krishna Padata Swatova Mito Bipadyeta Griha Vratanam Adanta Gobir Vishatam Tamishram Puna Punaschar Vitachar Vananam. Everyone should know the Punaschar Vitachar Vananam. That means chewing the chewed. Materialistic persons who are too much engaged in material enjoyment and who do not know anything beyond their material experiences are carried by the whims of material nature. They live a life characterized by chewing the chewed, and they are controlled by their uncontrolled senses. Thus they go down to the darkest regions of hellish life. So these are very powerful statements and words here by Srila Prabhupada, specifically quoting Prahlad Maharaj. First I was thinking about this statement, one who has no perfect knowledge is just a mental speculator. And I was reminded when I was first being approached by my friend Matt, and we would talk, and we were seekers. I was a seeker. And
now he's got a seeker.
and so, we would have these philosophical conversations, but I just remember I was mentally speculating, and he kept quoting Bhagavad Gita because he had become a devotee and he was trying to convince me. So it's like that. Then this point at the end, chewing the chewed. I always remember, and I forget who it was that gave the class, but a senior devotee gave class, and he said, chewing the chewed. He said, like if you go into especially Western schools, it used to be that underneath the desk, people would take out their chewing gum and stick it under there during class because you weren't allowed to chew gum in the class. Sometimes they'd pull it off and put it back in when they would leave. But often there was chewing gum underneath the seat, underneath the desk, on the bus, underneath, people would just, it's nasty that you do that anyway. But what I was thinking is what this devotee said is that chewing the chewed means like you go into the class and you're thinking, oh, I really want to taste some chewing gum. And you pull that gum off of the thing yourself, even though it's not yours, and you put it in your own mouth and you start chewing on it to see if you can get any flavor. And everyone knows that after you chew gum for some time, it's like all the flavor's gone, but your mouth is still like somehow chomping down on it to just try to squeeze out a little bit of that sugar, basically, that sugar sweet flavor. So the idea is that in material life, we're very often just trying to chew the chewed. We're just chewing that which other people have already chewed. They didn't get the satisfaction out of it. And we're thinking we're going to get the satisfaction by just picking it up and starting to chew it, or by doing some actions and activities that other people have not found satisfying. So now, in the name of being munificent and magnanimous to my wife, who looks like she's about to pass out, we're going to call it a day. Thank you all very much for being with us here in the hot city of Houston, Texas. For those of you who don't know, Houston, Texas.
All right.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.